Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mentoring Monday. Hope you are all well. Um, if you're joining me, can you say hi? Let me know where you are watching from. Let me see. Just gonna say that in the chat. Happy Monday. Christmas is here, literally just six sleeps before Santa arrives. And for us at the Ogini household, um, four sleeps till Daddy arrives. So that's a big deal over here. We are excited, can't wait. We are making grand plans on how to celebrate, even though it's all going to be chilled. So yeah, let me know how you are spending your Christmas, if you are traveling home, if you are spending it with family, if family that you haven't seen in a while is planning to visit. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Yeah, I love Christmas. I love Christmas. Just lots of great memories around it. So today I wanted to chat about something that concerns us all as artists, something that we have to learn how to do and learn how to do it well. Hi. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name. VRSYJNES. Welcome. Say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And it will be amazing if you could tell me your name as well. Well, how to pronounce it, anyways. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about marketing on social media. It's not something that many of us do very well, or should I say, it doesn't come to us naturally. Many of us just want to do our music, and we want our music to market itself. We don't really want to do the work. um, oh, thank you so much, Versi Jones. That's so much easier. Okay, Versi Jones. Interesting. Where are you watching from? Where are you joining me from? So, yes, I'm just going to be chatting about social media while learning about Versi at the same time. So yes, I was talking about what we all do with our social media marketing. I suppose ages ago when I joined Facebook, I was just really excited to see people that I had known ages ago and lost touch with, because we had all moved on from the cities where we were. We had life had just taken us to the other countries of the world. um I was really just excited about seeing these people again. Hi Bercy. Oh, London, like me, you're from UK as well. So yeah, I was really excited about getting in contact with old friends again, seeing pictures, seeing what they were up to. And that was just it for me. Like I was happy about Facebook because of that. But I didn't really have any need to grow my followers, grow my audience. And especially, I think one of the things that I really loved about social media was when I left Nigeria. And it was a great way to keep in contact with my family, see how my nieces and nephews were doing, how they were growing, how big they were getting, seeing pictures from celebrations that I was missing, things like that. And then or should I say, we all began to realize that there was so much more that could happen on social media, and we started to see a lot of businesses happening. And there was people talking about how they were earning money on social media, and it was all, ooh, really? You can do that? And then we became artists, and then we were told we have to grow our audience on social media. And it's a bit of a learning curve, isn't it? There's so much that you need to learn how to do, and learn how to do it well. um Versi, how are you with social media marketing and things like that? Let me know if you are I'm 10 out of 10. I do it well. I love doing it. Many of us want to, we are artists releasing music, but we still want to keep our lives private, and we don't really want to know. We are not really keen on sharing what's happening. But I have, over the years, I've learned a couple of ways to just simplify it, and to just make it doable. Um, yeah, so the function of social media has drastically changed. Like I said, it was a way to stay in contact. Then it turned into making content and growing and maintaining an audience, a learning curve, absolutely. And many of us are still trying to grapple with the many ways that we can do it. Um, you know, is that George Hoba Onu? Hi. I feel like oh well, let me know where you're watching from. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. Sorry if I didn't. Versi, you're a 5 out of 10. Yep, don't worry. Hopefully, I will share something today that will help you raise that number so you can be more effective with your marketing on social media. I'm a private person, but I understand you have to share what you're doing to build a connection with your fan base. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's lots of ways. I think what I just love about learning is that you learn different ways to do things, and you pick the ways that align with you. So you don't need to do what everyone does, but you come up with your own method. You come up with how regularly you want to be on social media. You come up with the things you want to do, and you just rinse and repeat and use them over and over and over again. I'm a music producer and I conceal my face for music performances and pictures, but I want to keep it fun. Absolutely. You do you, you do what you are comfortable doing, but as long as it works. If it's not working, keep searching, keep learning, keep looking for new ways that feel right for you so that it begins to work. Let me tell you an example. So these lives, I started doing them a while ago, and I think I was doing them on Thursday, maybe. I picked a random day. I think it was Thursdays. And I was doing them even when things would be busy. I would make sure to do them. Everyone knew Thursday evening, AB would. I think I was doing them in the kitchen at that time. I would go to the kitchen, lock the door, set up, and do a live. And then I think sometimes it just felt, oh, I don't know. I started overthinking it and thinking, was there a better time? And then I just, for some reason, I just stopped, and it took me a while to get back to doing it, because I knew that was what I should do. People need to get used to seeing you, and especially if you wanted to do something like any sort of service that you're doing. If you are a producer, if you are a coach, anything you're doing, a voice teacher, people need to see you and see that you are releasing value that is relevant to them. So when you're selling, they can actually know you, like you, and trust you enough to actually buy from you. It's a journey. You wouldn't just show up one day on social media and sell and expect people to buy from you. It's all a journey. You will do lots and lots of different things. If you're a musician, you will do live, just come on and sing, just add value to people in whatever way you can. So if you're doing a paid event, then people will actually say, you know what, this person has blessed me so much that I'm going to bless them. I'm going to attend the live event. I'm going to bring friends, because they know you. They're not going to bring friends if they don't trust you. If the times that they've actually not seen you do anything. They might like you enough to want to come attend something you're doing, but they're not going to bring friends, because they're going to say, well, I actually don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to go alone and see what happens. But if you've shown up, you've done it over and over again, they trust you, they will bring friends, they will spend money, and they'll do it, because you've added value to them over the years. So it's just something to think about, because I think a lot of us offer something that we want people to buy from us. It could be, oh, you want to grow your Patreon, you want people to support you in your artistry, as a musician, as a singer. You want people to do that. And when you release music, you want to release it to an audience that's engaged, an audience that's listening. The only way to keep an audience engaged is by regularly showing up and doing something that they like. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of points that that we all need to keep at the back of our minds before I actually begin to talk about the pillars. So number one, you need to be thinking about your brand if you don't have one yet. It's not something that a lot of musicians will think about, which is understandable, because when you start out as an artist, the first thing you think about will be your music, writing great songs, picking a producer, and actually releasing it. And it's only later on that you begin to think of a brand. But when you are beginning to build your audience and your presence on social media, you need to think of a brand. Why? Because when people look at what you post, when they go through your page, they want to see a cohesive look. They want to see that some thought has gone into putting together all that you've done. So if you go to some pages of professionals or some artists who have their brands figured out, you will see that there's a common color theme, there's a common font theme that they use over and over again, the kind of pictures. So, even your personal brand, do you want to be known as someone who is funny, lively, uplifting, engaging, always smiling, always laughing? Or do you want to be seen as someone who is very introspective, very serious, always thinking? And there's many other ways that you can choose to portray yourself. But if you give that a thought and begin to just think of the different ways that all of these things can infuse your posts. When people scroll down, so Instagram is a great way is a great place to see what I mean, because Facebook doesn't really come across that strongly, but there are some Instagram pages that you will go and the theme is so obvious. It just looks really pretty and really beautiful. They have the colors, they have the font, the kind of pictures. You can look at their pages and sort of know what they're about. So that's something you can begin to think about, your brand, even logos. So when you design a post, at the very bottom of it, you could have something like at AB Guinea Music. You could have a little bit of a font, and sorry, a little bit of a logo, something that every time people see that thing, they think of you. And that's the purpose of branding, isn't it? So even just by looking at a body of work, they know that this is you because you've been able to weave a common thread through a lot of your work. Okay, and then moving on to the next thing is consistency. So I already talked about some of the reasons why you should be consistent, but when you're starting out, I know some people say post in the morning for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. I don't know, I've never been able to do that. It is possible, definitely, especially if you had people who, like social media managers, and they were able to schedule that. But if you're starting out and you're your social media manager, you are everything in your business, you probably won't be able to post 3 times a day. But even if you were to say, I'm going to post 5 times a week or 3 times a week, and just be consistent in doing that, and then you can move up from there as things improve. But I think consistency is the best way, and just picking, even if it's a couple of times a week, just picking that, and then that way you'll be able to think about, okay, what are the important things I need to post about? And then you can say, oh, okay, on the Monday, I'm going to post about this. And then Wednesday, I'm going to post about this. And the Friday, I'm going to post about this. And therefore, you already have your go-tos, on Mondays. So for me, if Mondays, I post about Mentoring Monday, what I want to talk about. And then I come and do a live. So there's not a lot of work that I need to do about posting on Monday because it's already Mentoring Monday. And Wednesdays, then I think about something else, and Fridays I think about something else. When I was posting Monday to Fridays, I would do so Friday was something like promoting either my music or a fellow artist, using something like a lyric card or a lyric post, where you design a post with lyrics of a song and you say something about how that song blessed you. And if you wanted to put it on Instagram, you would use a clip of the song as a reel to, get people listening to it already. So even if you didn't have music out, that was your day to produce or to promote other artists, which is great, because something I find that some artists do really well is cross promoting. And if you have several artists that are giving you shout outs on their social media, you would want to do it. You want to do it back. You wouldn't want to have people saying, oh, go listen to my friend's music, and then you never do that. And one of the ways to do it back is to schedule it in. On Fridays, I'm going to post about my music. Yeah. So essentially the aim is to, when you pick how consistent you want to be, to help you achieve that consistency, you can then think about things you want to post and stick with them. So for example, me, it's Mentoring Mondays, and Tuesdays it could be, oh, I don't know, Talk Tuesdays, or something. Wednesdays, Win Wednesdays, where you ask people to post their wins. So if you had a group, you could schedule a post or schedule or design a picture that said, post your wins, no matter how big or small, and you could start off the thread in the last week. This is what I'm proud I did. I'm really proud about it, and no matter no matter how big or small is the key, right? If you didn't have to make it big every single week, then even the smallest things could be wins, and then you just start the celebration, and someone else posts, and someone else posts. And it's just to think about things like that, about what you want to do. So consistency was the second one. Okay, now moving on to what I meant by pillars of social media marketing. So I attended a boot camp. Ooh, gosh, I feel like it was a year ago. I don't exactly know when I did, but I remember learning this way to think about social media, and I've actually learned that from different people now, actually. So first of all, you think about what matters to you, because you don't want to go on social media and talk about things that don't matter. When you are passionate about something, it comes across. That passion, that love for it comes across, and that attracts people and draws people in. So you want to post about things you are passionate about. You want to post about things that add value. If you are a coach or a teacher, you want to post educative things as well. So you think about things like that. But taking a step back, just to make it broader, you could start off with who you are. Okay. So who am I? What is your core identity or identities? For me, I'm a mom, I'm a doctor, I'm a wife, I'm a Christian, I'm a singer songwriter, I'm a music business coach. All of these are my identities. So it could be that you also um, say once a week you post about something to do with your identity. Um, so I remember recently I posted a picture, or I posted a did a post on how my kids um, went to wow, I went to my kids' school for the parents teacher meeting. And you always go with a little bit of apprehension, thinking the teacher's going to say, oh, he needs to work on this, he needs to work on this. And then all I heard was glowing feedback about both boys. I'm like, really? Nothing, you have nothing bad to report. You're like, oh no, they are lovely, they're well behaved. And I'm like, really? And in my head, I was like, so they keep all their bad behavior for home, huh? So it was a pleasant surprise. I remember one time I posted about it and said, is this only me? Because um, why are they keeping all their bad behavior for home? I mean, it's great that they are well behaved at school, but they just wanted to push their boundaries and test you at home. And then lots of fellow moms were like, oh no, Abby, it's not just you. My kids are the exact same. They do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's not just me. I suppose in a way they feel comfortable enough at home to like push boundaries and test things out, and that's great, because I suppose that's how you grow. We all went through that phase where we wanted to test how far we could go before we got grounded for life and things like that. So um I'm pretty sure all of us passed through that. But that was a post that got a lot of engagement because people were like, "Oh no, baby, it's definitely not just you. My kids." And it was funny. It was also really good because I heard from people I've not heard from in ages, and that was really nice. So yeah, you could post about being what you do for a living. So I'm a doctor. And I don't think I talk enough about what I do as a doctor, to be honest with you. Um, I think it's also finding ways on how to do it and do it well. And maybe I should look at other doctors and see what they post about. I think sometimes you just have to learn from other people. Um, I don't just want to post randomly about how I went for a shift and it was a hard shift. I don't know. When I think of posting on social media, I want to add value. I want it to be something worthy of posting, not just, I don't know. I've heard though that um, not all of them have to be that, and maybe that's just my personality shining through. You can post just random things as well, because even though you don't think it's great, someone else might appreciate it and someone else might, find that interesting. So you could post about what you do for a living. You could post about being a wife, and balancing it all up, what you do with your partner, um, how you work things out, how you could just post things about that, because there'll be other people who will engage with that. And they'll find that really interesting, and they'll find that valuable. You could post about music, how you write songs and how you put your songs together. You could post about your journey as an artist. I've seen some people post beautifully about their process in production. Varsi. So there's this guy who is in a couple of groups that I'm part of as well, and he will. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a doctor. There's so many ways to share about my job without revealing too much. You can talk about the top 5 ways you get through the shifts, random conversations you have with patients. Hmm. 5 top ways to get through a shift. That's doable. 5 top ways to get through the night. Or how I get through the night. Yeah, I think some people find that interesting, because working at night for over 12 hours, coming home and then going back, some people will be interested in how do you make that work. So yeah, that's a good point. Something to think about. So yeah, so I was talking about oh yes, what a producer does in one of my groups. He will um talk about the idea of the song that was given to him, and a summary of what the artist wanted, and then he would talk about how he went about producing that sound. Oh, I used this for this sound, and I used this, and I used that, and this was the final picture. And it would literally be like a 30-second video, but you will hear all of the different the drums and this instrument and the synth and all of that, and then the finished work. And it was always beautiful because I just found that really interesting. So that's one thing that you can do, Versi. um so yes, that is your posting about around your core identities, who you are, um and what you do. Core values is the next one. So last week I talked about values. What do you value? And there's so many ways that you can use this. So many ways. Someone even talked about designing a leaflet that you can give out to people to promote what you do. So as a music business coach, if I design a program that is my like a primary program, I could design leaflets and give hard copies or soft copies out. And as part of that, I list my values clearly. Some people have said, just because their values were so clearly stated, some people bought from them because they were like, "Ooh, I like this. This is what you value. This is what you do. This is what you strive for. Ooh, that makes me know this about you, and I really like that. As I appreciate that, I relate with that, I want to buy from you." It's a way of advertising without advertising. Is something I've heard, and there's so many other things that you can do with your values too. My tagline for my brand, for my music, so Abia Guinea, spreading contagious joy, bringing contagious joy and persevering faith, was for my values. So that way, every time I release a video and you see my brand there, you also see my tagline, which has my values in it. So it's a great thing to have. But you can also post around your core values. um so I've put a couple of things. I've said hope, being thankful, candor, being real, faith, the fact that I truly believe there is a bigger hand that's involved in everything that's happening in my life. Faith, joy, things like that, that I always want to spread joy. And I I after people hear my songs, or after I have contact with people, I want them to feel lighter. I want them to leave with a smile on their face, to leave joyful. Or I've heard a couple of people who have watched my music videos and they're like, "Oh, AB, one thing I got from that video was your joy. It was really evident." And that is beautiful. I love hearing that. So you can post about that. A story that's happened today that made you think about your value, or something you did that day because of a value you had. That is definitely something you can post about. Next, you can post about your core beliefs. So what's the nursing strike? What is your take on it? So definitely I can go on and on. And the thing about some of these things is people don't want to post because they are controversial. But they don't realize that sets conversation happening. That starts off a conversation, and that raises your engagement actually. So even if it's controversial, you can still talk about it, but do it in an aligned way so no one else feels disrespected because this is your take on the situation. And then you can, of course, ask people to share what they think as well on the topic and get that conversation going. But obviously, the nursing strike is a huge one now that's happening, and that is definitely something that you can talk about. We as doctors, we're going to be voting soon on striking, I heard. Because things are real, things are happening. So it's definitely something that you can talk about. What is happening? What are your beliefs around certain topics? That's something you can post about and invite other people to also share their take on it. Now, where can you post? So obviously, if you're an artist or a musician, you probably are in lots of groups around music. But if you think outside the box, if you love gardening, you might be in a gardening group. If you love there's other things. If you have other hobbies, maybe you're an avid, you play lawn tennis, or you are involved in a particular sport, there will be groups around that as well that you can post in. And then sometimes you can weave in your music around something that you post in those groups and get conversation happening around your music as well in those groups. And because people relate to you around that hobby, they will also want to know more about the other things you do. So don't just post or don't just think about being in music groups. You can also you can also be in other groups um, that are around your other habits, interests, hobbies as well. Okay, and obviously, if you know now that COVID is not as much of an issue as it was before, things have now opened up. If you are in a if you're opportune to go to meetups, in-person events, you can go to those places and also talk about your music as well. Thanks, Versi. I'm really, really glad that you attended. I'm actually rounding up now, so I think you've got most of it. All right, take care. Hopefully, we'll talk again on Instagram soon. So yeah, this is what the things you can think about. So I said your four values. Four values around marketing on social media. So number one, core identity, core value, core beliefs, and also groups, being in other groups as well. Because when you come up with these post ideas, you want to have places to actually post in them, where you know that you will see or you will meet your ideal clients, your audience. It's the kind of audience that you want to attract. You know those people are in those places, and then you post there, and that is a way to grow your audience. Because when they comment on your post, when they love it, when they like it, you can also cultivate relationships around that, and you can also friend them and then bring them further into your audience. You can even add them to your email list, invite them to your groups, invite them to like your page, and then just bring them one step closer into your community as well. So that is how you grow your audience on social media and how you market. Oh, do you know what? This is 30 minutes. I'm gonna have to end here, but I was going to talk about other ways that you can market your music as well, and I've talked about them, some of them already. Lyric cards, using reels. But I wanted to share about actually writing a story behind your songs, and how to go about doing that. I think I will keep that for next live. What else did I say I was going to do? I can't remember. I think that's it. Whatever else I said I was going to do, I will add it to a next live. I'm trying to keep these to about 30 minutes so I don't go too overboard and keep you too long on a Monday night. I hope you've been you found what I've said interesting. I hope you have been blessed and learned something new. If you have, please let me know in the comments. If this is really valuable and you want to share with friends as well, please go ahead and send them a link to it as well. Great. Yes, I remember there was one last thing I wanted to talk about. It was how to cultivate relationships with your audience, or how to draw more people in during the holiday season. I remember I received an email from one of my coaches this morning. I was like, oh, that is so beautiful. And she was like, tip of the week. Do a short video, either wearing a Santa hat or standing in front of a Christmas tree. Who was it actually? Let me give her credit. Oh my goodness. Westwood Management. Kate, yes, that's her name. I think it's Westwood. Oh, I can't remember. But she it was her email, and she was like, do that. Do a short video. You could play a little bit of a Christmas carol and thank your audience for coming along the journey with you on 2022. And schedule it, send it out in an email, put it on social media, and then relax and enjoy the rest of your holiday. And I was like, that is fabulous. That is amazing. I remember last year I actually did my my freebie, my lead magnet. So I actually did a book called 7 Days to Fearless Living. And then I sent it out in my email list and said, this is just to say thank you for the last year. It's a completely free ebook that you can use to plan for the next year and things like that. So yeah, always think about doing something for your audience over the holiday season. It matters. It says a lot. I remember during Thanksgiving, I received an email from one of my coaches as well. There are many of them. And it was a simple email just saying, thank you. I'm really thankful that you are a client. I'm really thankful. And I was like, oh, that is so simple. And that went a long way. And shortly after, I sent the same email out to my email list. So I thank you. I'm grateful for you. These things matter. So make sure you do something for your audience as well this Christmas season. All right. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the week and enjoy Christmas. I will see you next Monday. Take care. Bye. And actually, I hope to do some carols as well and post a couple of them over social media. So hopefully you'll see me singing a Christmas carol for you. Hopefully you like it. Take care. Bye.